Before she became a nationally recognized transportation leader, before she founded multi-million-dollar companies, and before she helped reshape Metro Atlanta, Marsha Anderson Bomar grew up in Bensonhurst, Brooklyn. In that close-knit community, everyone looked out for one another, and those friendships still going strong. Her early curiosity in engineering started when her dad worked at the New York State Department of Transportation, specifically on an environmental impact statement for the West Side Highway Replacement Project. That was the first time the idea of engineering sparked her imagination. Marsha first attended Brooklyn College, then transferred to Brooklyn Poly, where she earned her bachelor's degree in mathematics in 1973. It was during this time that she began working for the Transportation Engineering Department, collecting and analyzing data. It turns out she loved it, so she came back for her master's in transportation planning and engineering. After a couple of years of work and travel, she accepted a fellowship to Princeton and pursued a master's degree in civil engineering with an eye toward a PhD. And it was there, in 1977, that she met Walter Anderson, an electrical engineer and one of the founders of the Interactive Computer Graphics Lab. They were married for nearly 16 years. In 1993, Marsha met Lucien Bomar. By 2000, their blended family was complete. 3 biological children, Charles, Ross, and Alexis, and 3 bonus children, Tara, Heath, and Adam. Then 6 grandchildren, Anderson, Tristan, Damien, Wesley, Luke, and Alexandria. But perhaps one of the boldest moves in Marsha's life, founding not 1, but 2 consulting firms. Street Smarts in 1990, Data Smarts in 1993. Together, they grew to over 120 employees and $20 million in annual revenue, with Georgia DOT as a major client.
It's really not the projects that I think about when I think about working with Marsha. I think about how she handles herself and how she treats others, one of empathy and truly trying to understand the problem that's to be solved, no matter what it was, and how she literally lifts people up while she's solving problems and moving projects ahead in a way that really makes you feel special.
One of her most visible and exciting projects was participating in the creation of Centennial Olympic Park in downtown Atlanta for the 1996 Olympics. In 2010, she sold both firms to Stantec, one of the world's leading design firms. Her leadership didn't stop there. She became executive director of the Gateway 85 Community Improvement District, the largest CID in Georgia. Then came dream roles with Marta, where she served as Assistant General Manager for Capital Programs Delivery and as Interim Commissioner of the Atlanta Department of Transportation. All of it was work that made a real impact, touching the lives of those who lived and worked in the Atlanta metro region.
Marsha was a part of making sure that Atlanta focused on equity, safety, mobility, and also working with our transit partners to provide access for all.
She's been deeply involved with ASCE for nearly 40 years, serving at all levels, from local to national. She led the Transportation and Development Institute, served on ASCE's Board of Direction, and was ASCE's treasurer. And she also made history as the first woman president of the Institute of Transportation Engineers.
Everyone who knows Marsha asks, how does she do everything she does? How does she have the time? Well, the logical answer is that Marsha must be a superpower that gives her the ability to be in 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 places at the same time.
Her dedication to public service is just as deep. Marsha served 16 years on the Duluth City Council, including time as mayor pro tempore. She played a key role in transforming the city's downtown through innovative financing and community-focused design.
One thing I admired about Marsha was When staff would bring to mayor and council an issue or a recommendation to address an issue, Marsha would already have in her mind the outcomes of multiple variables that could occur. The same process I would go through, I would have to go home in a quiet room and kind of think about all the opportunities or all the other things that could happen with the decisions that were made. Marsha's mind just seemed to spark on multiple levels, and it was just extremely impressive to kind of work with her and try to learn from her how she was able to do that.
Today, she continues to guide the future of transportation as strategic advisor to GHD, a global consultancy. After building a business, raising her children, giving back to her community, and so much more, she earned her doctorate in environmental planning and design in 2024 from the University of Georgia. An engineer, a business owner, a mother, a wife, a public servant, a mentor, a lifelong learner. And now, ASCE's 2026 president. Congratulations, Marsha Anderson Bomar. Your story is one of passion, purpose, and paving the way for others.